Streaming. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
How's it going, folks?
Okay. Sorry about the late start. We're missing our friend, Mr. Tolbrand Ernwood, so he is being represented by XR Bob in the center.
Hey, XR Bob.
He's pretty quiet, though. XR Bob has a tough time speaking. And then we're also missing Mr. Stakas, so he's being represented by Mr.
How's it
Omid
going,
Dariani.
folks?
Okay. Sorry about the late start. We're missing our friend, Mr. Tolbrand Ernwood, so I turned down my own volume.
Yeah, I had to do that too.
We're so
There
pro
we go.
tonight. We're so pro.
Right.
Oh, he's saying that we're muted. Am I muted? No, not muted. We're not muted.
Who's muted? I'm not muted.
I don't know. All right. Hey everybody. Welcome to Into the Portal, an EQ Next podcast. We're joined tonight by our friend Mr. Locke, as always, Mr.
Hello.
Reese, as always, XR Bob, Mr. Omid Dariani, and our new friend, SuperFancyUnicorn.
Hello, everyone.
Right there in the middle.
Welcome,
Superest and
Unicorn.
fanciest of us all.
She is the fanciest and the most unicorn-like of us all.
No beard, though. I'm working on it, guys.
I forgot to put my headphones on.
I could tell it's about the commitment. That's all that we want. As long as you commit to it, then it's fine.
Okay. I'll make it happen.
All right.
I believe
That's
in
the
you.
spirit.
So, hey, Mr. Lonely Fox. Hey, everybody. So, what are we doing over here on my channel? Let's just cover that real quick, because it's a new thing for everybody, and so I thought we'd go over it. First off, we have, what do we call the new UI? What was it called?
The new eye.
Oh, the new eye.
UI.
This is the new eye, which is the brand new UI for us. It is made entirely out of burled wood and obsidian.
Because we're fancy like that.
We are fancy like that.
Yep.
Super
We
fancy.
go for the high-end mats when we make our UIs. So that is our new UI. And then what are we doing over here on Geekdomo's channel? Well, EQ Nexus was taken over by aliens. And, oh, we got a new follower. Thanks, Bloody. So anyway, EQ Nexus is being taken over by aliens, and so while this is happening and they're sort of in a transitional period, we're going to try it out on my channel for a little while, see how it goes, and then we will just go from there. But for right now, we're hanging out over here because people know to come over here to watch the other podcasts that I do, so we're just going to do it here for now, and we'll figure out what's going to happen. Oh, look, there's a Foo in the audience,
There's a foo.
and she's very happy.
Aw.
She says, a girl with gorgeous hair and awesome eyeliner. I'm a happy Foo.
Blush.
Lock.
Thank you.
You might lose her, Lock.
She's been here 2 minutes, and she's already
She's
already
gushing.
cracking onto the new host. You disgust. Disgust.
So there's a couple things I still didn't get set up. I figured I would start the show, so it's going to be our topic list. While that is going on, while I'm setting up the topics, Mrs. Unicorn, or Miss Unicorn?
Either.
Miss Unicorn. Would you please tell us a little bit about
Madame
yourself?
Unicorn.
Madame Unicorn. That's a great one. Madame Unicorn, would you please tell us a little bit about yourself, your channel, what you do with EverQuest and all that?
About me. Well, I've been streaming since September, so I'm fairly new to this whole thing. I started out with PlanetSide 2. I do a lot of first-person shooters. I like to pew-pew. And I got into Landmark because y'all might not know this, actually, but I am a feature writer for SOE.
Oh.
And so I work behind the scenes with the community folks, kind of helping them out with posts, content, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I said Landmark is going to be the big new thing. And I said, cool, hook me up. So
Here we are.
that's how I got into it.
Very cool.
And you've been streaming quite regularly.
Yeah, I try and do every day just about, or weekdays anyway. So it's fun.
It is. It is. Well, welcome to the show. Don't be intimidated by the millions of people that are watching, because they're usually pretty gentle. And all they do is throw Jaffa cakes at us, so it's all right.
Yeah.
Nom.
Nom nom. Let's see.
Don't encourage them. They're awful people.
Well, so that's the funny thing is, now that we don't have Tobran for this episode, apparently Fu has taken up the Jaffa cake regiment, but she's not on the camera, so we don't see it. But every time we say, Jaffa or one of them comes up on the screen, she still has to eat one like Tobran would. But
You don't want your wife
we just
getting
don't see it.
all fat like that, dude, because we're trying to get Tobin all fattened up.
Reese's Cups were 3 for 2 at Tesco this week, and we've got about 1,000.
Oh, wow.
The whole, just floor to ceiling in the living room. It's a beautiful sight. Just a wall of orange. And the Jaffa cakes. 100% extra free.
100%. Oh, I see. So if you buy one, get one free. Kind of deal.
It's written on the box. It says there's 12, but then you get 12 free because there's 100%.
Yeah.
Which is all of them. So you buy 12. It's written on the box.
Yep, I enjoyed seeing that it's actually quantified instead of having you do the math yourself.
Yeah, it's so specific.
So while I'm still getting this set up, everybody, and thanks for all the new people that are following me over here. While we're getting this set up, if you have any questions for us, please put them in brackets. Just type in question, put it in brackets, and we have nobody to bring in, put them into our chat tonight. So we're having a hard time. Here's what's going on. All of us, at least almost all of us, sat up till really, really late last night trying to get ourselves some claims. And those of you who are in the audience right now know exactly what we're talking about. And so I think Tobran just had a seizure and died in his bed because he's just not here. And so yeah, we're missing our Tobran. And of course, Mr. Trendane stepped down for a little while because he's just not really into this kind of gameplay. So that's fine. And we're missing Stockus, who also stayed up all night last night. I think Stockus was going on like 2 days staying up.
Yeah.
So
I saw when the things finally came up, I got mine, he got his, and then he came over to see my hilariously placed claim, which I literally got right at the hub. It's awesome. Wow.
Somebody's keeping.
Uni's got a lot of people that...
Oh, sorry, I won't touch it. My mic's right up next to it. I won't touch it anymore.
I was about to say, you really are NC. You've got the loudest keyboard in the room, too.
Oh, God. Are we doing some sort of
Planet Side 2,
references here?
That's how you know someone's
There we go.
He's proud of having the biggest, loudest guns.
Yeah, okay. So I guess I will grab the questions and keep them in the chat tonight because I can see that. So first question's from Mr. Legendary Neurotoxin. Question. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We'll start talking about topic one. I'm going to worry about doing the questions, and then we have some Prime Grapplers we're going to give away tonight. So before we do the Prime Grappler giveaway, let me just talk a little bit about the new system that we have here on our page, on Geekdomo page here. 1 second, just got to change this a little bit here. It's a little hard to read. There we go. Okay, so we have a new system over here called Domo Coins. And all you need to do to get Domo Coins is just watch the shows. So any shows you watch on this channel, you get the Domo Coins. You're going to use them for giveaways for normal giveaways. Like if when I'm giving away a game or something like that, you'll be able to use the Domo Coins to buy raffle tickets. You use the raffle tickets to win. So basically, you maybe I'll make the raffle tickets are worth 10 Domo Coins. And if you have 100 Domo Coins, you can buy 10 tickets. And you're going to enter 10 times. You can use that, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that's going on. If you see people typing in Domo Coins all through the show, that's what they're doing. For our giveaways tonight, for what we're giving away our Prime Grapples, we're not going to do it that way. Prime Grapples are just basically a kind of like a free-for-all. I'll give you a code word. You'll type the code word in, and then I will give you the Prime Grapple codes. All the grapplers are coming from Sony directly, so all I'm doing is being the person handing them out to the people who win, okay? So that's how we're going to do our giveaways tonight. All right, yeah, and make sure everybody you're following Unicorn.
Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. Please follow Unicorn. All right, we'll get to that in just a second. I'm going to start grabbing these questions. Make sure you're putting the questions in brackets, and let's get started. So our first topic of the night is going to be the new islands.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There are indeed new islands.
And biomes.
Yep.
Yes.
New islands and biomes. The first of many that we hope. They added the new ones in, so they didn't have to do a wipe of people's claims, which is nice. But now, as I'm sure many people watching know, it's just a big mess of people trying to get the space on the new biomes because people want new things. It
was really, really rough because I couldn't stay awake any longer. I was up and it was like midnight, 1 o'clock, and I had been I went to bed about 11, I guess, and I had stayed up the night before I got 2 hours sleep the night before, so I was dead to the world. I was literally on my laptop using a program called TeamViewer, okay? Because my laptop is not capable of connecting quick enough to the servers. So I use TeamViewer, which is basically using my main computer as my connection, and I was virtually playing through it, sort of like playing through a Skype window. And it works well because my main computer is really a big horsepower monster, but my little laptop just can't load things quick enough. So I sat up there all night long, just sitting there hitting the refresh button, watching it go to 89%, crashing, watching it go to 89% crashing. I was like, oh, come on, am I ever going to get in? And I literally fell asleep with the laptop on my belly, just passed out. And so I woke up this morning at 4 in the morning, and I saw that the servers had only been up like an hour and a half, and so I jumped right in, ran to a spot on Valley, because I believe you recommended that to me, Reese. You said go to Valley because it was a tropical and new old growth forest biome. It has no snow.
Yeah, that's the only one. It's a tier 2. It's tropical jungle, old forest growth. That's all.
Right. So I was like, great. Let me go get on the freaking island. I got there. I found a spot. There was only one spot. No, okay, if you guys might realize, there's actually a new UI element that you can turn on show claimable land as you're running around. So all the ground turns red if you're in a spot that it's not on the map. It's actually on the ground. So
it's really handy.
It is handy. So I'm running around through there trying to find a nice spot to put down. I find a spot. I go to put it down, and I'm like maybe 100 yards from the Nexus. I'm like, yes, this is freaking awesome. And I go to pop it down, and I see that I'm on a hill that's like this. Okay, so it's basically sticking off the side of the hill. You guys can't see that. You can look at the stream, but anyway, so it's sticking out the side of the hill, and I'm like, this is absolutely terrible. What am I gonna do? Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll just pick it up and I'll move it up the hill, because there's a spot up on top of the hill that was flattened off. Picked up my claim, go up to the top of the hill. It literally took me about 5 seconds to walk to the top of the hill. Another person's claim right down on top of mine. And now there was nothing else for like miles. I was like, no. So I picked up my claim. I run back down to the Nexus, and I go to another island. Same exact thing. I'm like pretty happy with my claim, and then I realized that I just wanted to move it over a couple of feet because it wasn't in the right kind of spot. It was kind of same kind of thing. Picked it up, crashed. Somebody dropped another flag. I'm like, you guys suck. So I picked up my flag and ran back to the Nexus. I ended up going to Cave. Serenity Cave is where I'm at right now, and I'm not right next to Nexus, but I picked a hilltop spot because it was it's up at the top there, and I've never had a hilltop type of claim before, so that's cool. So how did you guys and Lady fare? When did you pick up your claims?
I picked up my claim yesterday. Actually, I think I picked it up on Wednesday. Got it all nice and sorted out. I've got tons and tons and tons of stone. And then when the servers finally came up, I rushed directly to where I wanted, went to Serenity Kettle, and put down the claim flag immediately before anybody else even got in. Just, burning SSD, 24 megabits per second, blazing fast, near San Diego. I've got all the leverage to get the best spot. So I got it. It's right next to the hub. It's so close that I've got a tree that isn't even scaled to maximum size that's actually like partially covering the hub crystal. You can still access it, but it looks like it's got, kind of tree shade over it. It's really cool.
That's awesome. That's my last claim. When I was on Serenity Esker, I was that close to the portal. I was right up on it.
That's awesome.
It's nice to have a claim like that.
And it's of course straight up in the tundra, so I know you're not looking for something frigid like that. But if anybody who wants to attach claims once the claim attachments feature goes on, there's a lot of really nice space nearby. So pretty nice area to expand in. Plus, there's a mountain right next to me, so if you want to do something that digs into the side of a mountain, plenty of space to expand that way too. I've got a tree going as a bridge from the top of my claim, which is 3 claims high, all the way to the nearby mountain. So once I've got everything built up, I'm actually going to build that into it and have the giant tree bridge as one of the features to help people get onto it, because it'll be a big floating thing.
That's really cool. I love how you can pick up these monster trees and now just rotate them, and it's really cool. Real quick, hey Omid, thanks for coming. As you see, you're on the show tonight with Ixar Bob. So
Ixar Bob.
Ixar Bob, he's crazy man. He's nuts. we're missing Tobran and Stakas, who both could not stay awake long enough to be on the show. So I put some fillers in. And I figured I'll put Omid there because there you go. All right.
My claim story is terribly boring.
Oh, it's okay. Make it exciting. Talk about flames and lasers. You know, it'll be good.
I woke up at 10 this morning in a fit of flames and lasers. And I don't know, I didn't really have any like super requirements that I wanted to do. I was kind of thinking foresty because I'm loosely basing mine on Scarlet Monastery in World of Warcraft. I don't know if y'all are
Oh, yeah. I love that place. One of my most favorite instances of all time because we used to have to run there, remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
Back in the day. So I think I'm on Serenity Shield. I found a cool little hilltop claim, so I got it this morning and I'm happy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So no drama, but whatever.
I don't have a story at all. I haven't logged in since the patch.
Your claim is still
I've
there.
Just been at work. But I have moved recently. I've moved. I've found some cool people to hang out with on an EU server, and we've got big plans for the mountain that we're all kind of on.
Yeah.
At the same time, so it's all going to be. There's a big dwarven fortress thing going to be happening, and lots of fighting things when fighting things become available. But yeah, we got big plans for that, so I'm very excited. And also we were thinking about. Yes, there's like the snow biome and everything, but now we can craft the props and we can move, we can move the snow around and everything in the ice. So I thought it might be interesting to kind of start with the more sort of jungly stuff at the bottom, and then as the mountain goes up, like just change it into like proper frosty right at the top. So that could be something interesting to do. But yeah, haven't moved, haven't logged in, haven't even had a chance to look at the shiny things yet. But,
Well, I'll tell you what. The statue that we're going to build to Omid, we're going to make it out of gold, right? I'm actually thinking that the Tundra...
Mean the Tobran Ironwood statue.
The Tobran Ironwood statue that looks exactly like Omid. The Tundra snow, there's like a Tundra snow... Now there's a liquid tab. You haven't seen it yet, Luck, because you haven't got in, but there's a tab on the top that says liquids, and you can go to snow or ice. And there's two in each right now. And there's one that looks... Absolutely, it looks way better than the marble. It's like this very shiny, sort of like multi-dimensional kind of thing, and it's so cheap. You can just go dig it up outside. You just go dig in the snow and you get all this ice.
It's just plain ice, isn't it?
It might be the plain ice, but I thought it was one of the tundra ices, and it looks gorgeous. So I think if we were to make a big statue, I would rather make it out of that than even marble because it looks so cool.
Oh, speaking of which, if you didn't see in the chat here earlier, I've actually got a 250,000 ice to give away on the show here at some point. So
you're gonna give away ice?
Yep.
Are you a dealer now?
I've got a 250,000 ice. Whoever wins it, I'll just pass it all along to them, and they can get a head start on building their giant ice statue or castle or whatever they're gonna do with it.
Hey, Trendane, we replaced you with Ixar Bob. Or maybe no, you're Omid tonight, and Ixar Bob is Tobran.
Yeah.
Okay. So what did you? So Uni and Reese, what did you guys think of the new biomes? We didn't really talk so much about them yet.
They're great. I like them a lot.
Gorgeous.
It's how's the way to describe it? I guess having seen the areas that we've seen for the past however long, it kind of reminds me of how for the first little while in PlanetSide 2, all there was Indar. It was the only continent we could play on for the longest time. So everything else, like, not only is it new and shiny because it's got more work, or a lot more recent up-to-date work that's gone into it, and the level of detail and such can be a little more fine-tuned based on what they've gotten up to this point, but just the fact that it's stuff that we haven't seen before. So just being able to go travel around, look at stuff, collect the ice and snow, and be able to work with that, all the new plants and stuff that have come with it, it's really, really nice. It's just something that's it's a great perk. I actually said on my live feature rant that I was so excited about the this patch. There are entire games that I haven't been as excited about as this patch, and it's an alpha.
It's an alpha patch.
That's pretty amazing right there.
Yeah. I love the faces in the trees.
Yes.
Very
cool.
Did you check that out, Uni? You run around them for a while?
I've got a couple on my claim, and they're looking at me disapprovingly as I flatten things, so it's kind of fun.
Yeah, I had to like delete a couple of them, and yeah, I got that same feeling like they're looking at me. They don't like me leveling my mountain here.
Judgy tree is judging you.
Exactly. Bad trees don't judge.
Well, you know what happens when you piss off the ants enough.
What? They
tear down your tower.
Baroom and they throw rocks at you. What about the new tools, guys? I guess we can start talking about that.
Has anybody tried the new smoothing tool yet? I actually haven't.
Oh,
Very
I have.
briefly. So you probably know more than I do, Domo.
I did an 8-hour stream today, and yeah, I know it's nuts. I didn't mean to. I woke up at 4 in the morning, and I'm like, well, if I'm gonna be like setting up my claim flags, I might as well, show everybody what I'm doing. So I got on and I started streaming. Yeah. So anyway, I followed that guy's instructional video on how to make the cylinder. Make the hollow cylinder. You know what I'm talking about? So if you want to do a tower.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I used the smooth tool. Now, in the past, you could use that smooth tool and kind of sort of get things rounded off. But now it's so incredibly strong. If you hold it too long in one particular area, it'll burn a hole right through something. So you got to be kind of careful.
Cool.
Do you know how undo works? Will it just do each click's worth, or if you click and hold it, will it do the entire time that you were holding it?
It's just like undo in Windows or whatever. So if you are undoing something, it undoes all. So as long as you're holding the button down, when you let go, it undoes everything you were doing while that button was held down.
Okay, cool.
So
because that was one of the issues with the previous smooth tool, is that you'd have to either, if you've got a selection tool in place and you're clicking on it to smooth, I don't believe you could just hold it. You'd have to keep on mashing it to actually get it to smooth.
And then you use some undos.
Yeah, exactly. So that was really, really painstaking. So that's nice that they've got that going with it now.
Yep. Exactly. What are your thoughts there, Mr. Locke? You haven't got a chance to use them so much yet, but what do you think?
I haven't had a chance to use it all, but I find it interesting that we're kind of at this weird point. Like everyone's having a great time. We're all building and stuff, but even the things that we're using and the things that we're happy with are still being worked on and still being iterated on. So I make a point of it every week. But if there's anything people can think of, anything they think a tool should be doing that it isn't, then put it on the forums, and hopefully the future will be bright and full of tools, and we'll be able to do anything and live like gods.
That's the goal, right? Exactly.
That's the ideal.
Okay, remember, everybody, keep sending in your questions. Type in question, put it in brackets. If myself, Uni, Locke, or Reese, or Ixar Bob can't answer it, we could always ask Omid, who's in the chat right now, to clarify some things. So if you have questions, please put them in brackets, and we'll start answering them in a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You can call him Ixar Bob or Mr. Sarbob, or just Ick. His first name's Ick and his last name's Sarbob. I just thought we should make that clear before we move forward. Avoid any potential embarrassment.
Exactly. Let's see. How did Reese? What did you try stacking your claims? How high did you get your claims up today?
Well, it only allows you to go
too
high, but I was able to get it too high. I actually had to do the readjust thing too, where when I first put my claim flag down, it was halfway in the earth. So, in order to move it up, I had to pull it up and put it back down. Fortunately, I was actually able to get a moment where there was nobody around. So, just for that moment, I plopped it up, put it down right in the correct position, and now I've got maybe less than the largest full-size block of space. Where it's actually into the ground, which is perfect because I'm going for this giant floating thing. It was going to be stone. Now I think I might go with ice and have this frozen look with icicles and stuff coming off of it. And so that'll be pretty neat. I'll probably be live streaming it as I build it over the next week or so.
We didn't talk about that yet. Crafting the props.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So good. This one I've been looking forward to.
I've got
so fun.
So much plain wood like
Yeah, me too.
wood
From
planks.
trying to get
I've
the
got-
burled wood, right? So you
I've
got
got
100,000.
hundreds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got literally like 300 trees I could make right this second. I'm gonna idle out after every 50, but if not, then yeah, 300.
I'm starting, like, I'm doing.
Let's make it right now.
I stack 2 on top, and I have a pair of towers that are so big that you can see them from almost anywhere on the map. I'm not
Awesome.
joking. It's like people are like, dude, I saw you from the other like a mile away. I saw your towers. That's how tall the claim is now, and then I have one behind it. So the length of my my castle that I'm working on right now is massive. I can't imagine what it's gonna be like when we get more claims.
Yeah.
It's 300 meters is a lot. That's not that's no joke. I think
Yeah,
it's
it's-
another thing as well. Like one of the biggest complaints that we heard first week of alpha. When we saw the size of the claims, there were a lot of people saying it's not big enough. It's not big enough. And look, here we are. Immediately, I think 3 times the size. Like what could you not build in the area that we have now? Really, like.
It's huge. It looks gorgeous. I am so excited because before you were sort of like, it felt a little tight, so I couldn't really do like a nice layout that I wanted to do. And I've seen some people that did, like when they did the live stream the other day, they went to that guy's town that I visited before, the one that's out in the middle of the desert oasis place. And running around that town, it was amazing how much stuff he got in that 170 meters by 170 by 170 meters. It blew my mind, and they even blew the mind of the developers too. They're like, "How did he do this?" Because it's like almost a perfect use of the claim from top to bottom. He had like a dungeon down below, a sewer system, and all that. I'm like, it just blew my mind. So now the claims being so much bigger, it's almost I can't imagine what's gonna be like when we can put all 6 up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's once we finally get to the point where we can, attach claims and have some really large ones. I'm definitely gonna go with my original plan of making a PlanetSide 1 style base. It's something I've really wanted to do, and I really hope eventually that they put the PlanetSide 2 assets in Landmark so that we can, build in that style and use those kinds of materials and stuff in it.
I hope so. I'd like to see. Obviously, a lot of people are focused on the fantasy stuff at the moment, but I'm looking forward to different things coming in.
I was actually going to ask. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Unit.
I was going to ask what y'all thought of the idea, like one person might have a super high-tech claim and then a castle right next door. Is that world-breaking for people, or is that a good thing?
It's world breaking for people that expect only one or only the other, but if they understand the scope and scale of the game, that it can be everything. I guess the easiest explanation, the castle was from the civilization that was there from before, and the space stuff is from a crashed spaceship or colonists that have put down some work there or whatever, and are trying to stay isolated so they don't violate some intergalactic treaties or space laws or whatever.
It's magic. It's all magic.
Yeah, it's all magic. I mean,
Magic works.
I think I do though. You know what? I kind of make fun of the idea of immersion in MMOs a lot. People that watch the show will know that, but I do totally understand people wanting to have that area that's all very definitely themed. I understand that. Like, that'd be really cool, running across the whole map and like just having a specific type of fantasy theme thing or a specific period of place in history. But at the same time, because there's no unified theme enforced on the game, I think it's very much up to the players to create that for themselves, and I think it's up to the developers to give us what we need to be able to enforce that on the world, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think, there will be people that wouldn't like the idea of that. Personally, I think, the more variety, the better. That's where I'm at.
Honestly, none of my claims up to this point have fit anywhere with anybody's styles. Everything's been completely like modern art experimental, basically. So
And
this will probably...
That's a good point, because I do a lot of running around on my show. Like I'll build stuff for a while, then I'll say, "Hey, everybody, tell me about your claim. Let's go look at it." And I'm just as excited to see somebody who's built a modern house or some kind of, like, there's a guy right behind me building this big egg. Like, it's this huge white egg with stripes on it, and it looks like It almost, what's that building in London? It kind of has
Well,
that.
the Gherkin.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that. It's kind of got like a spirally, twisty thing going on to it. I'm pretty impressed by what he's doing, and I don't care that he's right behind my castle with that modern art looking thing, because I'm interested in to see what people's creativity is. It doesn't break anything for me, but I can see that some people kind of do get a little worked up over that.
Thing is, though, as well, like how specific would you go? Like, if SOE said, "Okay, this island's for this," like how specific do you go? I mean, even if you just said Tolkien fantasy, there's a huge range.
Oh,
like,
they would
within that.
get so hard for that.
It's just crazy. Or if someone, I'm just thinking of things like if someone said this one's a Discworld one, well, you could have like something from 4X next to something from like Morphle, and that would look totally weird. Or periods of history, you could have a very grand manor, and then right next to some slums or something, and that doesn't make sense either. So I think it's about players getting together and organizing and making what they want to see in the world, which I hope is what we see. How do SOE police it though, unless they say this island is for lower middle class 17th century? Like how.
Yeah.
How does that work? Or they do like, okay, this is the Egyptian one, but so it doesn't break anyone's immersion, we're only allowing 3 pyramids.
I think the claim flags and claim voting is how it's going to work. Is that you flag it as being a particular genre, having particular elements that fit that genre, and people will vote on that claim. And if it gets too many downvotes, maybe it does get uprooted and kicked somewhere else if it's on a server that's actually policed in that way. If it's a free-for-all server, of course, it can get as many downvotes and it won't get kicked out because, it's just fine unless it's the, some sort of phallic claim. But
right, I think phallic,
we'll see
boobs,
those.
whatever, those kind of things are obviously they can police. But things like, there's a 17th century Tudor over here next to a 19th century Victorian.
Yeah.
I mean,
no problem.
I see no problem at all with it. This is not EverQuest.
Is it? I'm here for the Victorian builds. Thank you very much. There'll be no Edwardian architecture around here, apart from the Edwardian architecture that would still exist during the Tudor period. And then would it be pre or post Great Fire of London? And
I think you're getting a little too technical with it here.
Reese,
damn it, man!
There's one thing we're on this show. It's too technical.
I feel like also as guilds get together and people can build on other people's claims, like people will sort of naturally gravitate toward, perhaps groups of fantasy or groups of, sci-fi or whatever. So
hopefully, I really hope that happens. I think the more players get together and the more organized that they are, the better things we're going to see from Landmark. So I'm all for that. It did make me think though, what we were talking about earlier kind of ties into this about like how many claims do we think eventually is we are going to be able to stick together? Like, do you think it's going to be the case that you can fill up a whole island with buildable space if you have enough resources, enough people like tagging them onto each other? And then how high are we going to be able to go? How low are we going to be able to go? I think it's an interesting question.
definitely.
Eventually, when missions are in.
I think the permissions are going to change the game significantly because we've all been talking since we started doing this show, specifically Locke and I, that we wanted to build this great big crazy statue to Omid as a joke. But we haven't been able to because we can't work together.
It was only a joke to you, Domo.
Oh, that's true.
It was my dream.
It's your dream. I'm building the Tobran Ernwood statue that looks exactly like Omid. But now I
cries lava.
He cries lava and his breasts leak milk of some sort.
And when you walk onto the claim, it goes. Okay.
And we're supposed to have these little things at the bottom worshiping his feet or something. I forget all the things we talked about.
But that'll just be players that will be doing that. Thousands of NPCs.
Yeah, come in and just bow all the time and do the bow routine. Yes, Turiel, she doesn't lack a beard. She has the most epic beard of us all. So,
I'm working on it.
Beard of the mind.
It's a beard of the mind, yeah. So, like, the reason I brought that up is Ellaby, who has this amazing dragon behind me now, or where I used to be on Serenity Esker, is the one who made the head of Omid that Omid uses as his avatar all over the internet. So it's amazing. And she, or he, now has that head saved in a template, and when we're allowed to do the shared claim thing, they're going to come over and drop that head on our new claim, and we're going to be able to build this thing.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to, though, with the changes to the stability of microvoxels and the new uses of the smoothing tool, the new smoothing tool. You know, are we going to see even better statues than we've seen already? Is it going to be possible to do more with it?
Exactly.
Always pushing. Always pushing. Never happy. Never happy.
Yes, Shadowspawn says, meanwhile, Uni sits there wondering, what the hell have I gotten myself into?
Hey, it's y'all's statue. It's your business.
No,
I don't judge.
You're in on it now.
Yeah, you have to
Oh,
come
man.
help.
You signed the contract to be on the show.
Yes, the contract, the 30-page long lawyer forged contract.
Awesome.
We'll be expecting 50% of your resources towards the statue.
Oh man, I gotta read the fine print next time.
Omid's like, pretty hard to make a better statue than this, and he points at himself. So Omid, you realize you have to come and model for us, right? We need like a full life-size body, unless you just want like the body of an Ixar with the head of Omid on top.
No, we'll just wing it. We'll do it like a Final Fantasy VI character, where the head is 1.5 times the size of the body,
Right?
And it's in side perspective, where the body is in that kind of angled perspective. It's weird, but it works. I actually had to reverse engineer that style for a project.
Good. I like that.
That was how Ninja was designed.
Now I'm thinking of maybe the one big one like that, and then lots of smaller, like Mega Man style ones.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just for a
Holding
bit
the
of
feet. That's what they're saying. They need to have something holding the feet of the statue up.
Oh,
So
someone said riding an Ixar. That'd be pretty epic.
Riding an XR would be good.
Like piggyback?
You guys are
Like piggyback.
Or Ixar back? I don't know.
For what's
Similar
under his feet, it could be a platform being held up by 4 giant turtles that we dig way into the ground with 4 claims or something to place there. So
and they're
it's
just
like
absolutely
creation
flush
myth.
absolutely flush with just dirt and stone all the way around, so you can't see them from anywhere. But we know they're there.
We know that they're just buried. It's the secret level. It's the cow level.
I feel like it's time to move on.
It's probably time to move on. All right. So it is now. I guess it's time for Q&A time. Q&A time.
Already? Oh my God! Where did the time go?
So,
Hey?
I mean, there's a few things that were talked about. I mean, there was the March producers letter where they just kind of talk about what's going on.
All right, I will turn off the Q&A time and free flow, man. Just like be like a rapper and just let it flow. Just don't hold back. The roadmap was updated. Oh my God.
Yeah. So that'll be something else we'll have to check out there.
Okay, it's got the cross outs what they added. So new smoothing tool was removed.
Cool.
And attached claims was removed. So they're crossing out things as they're adding them.
Good. There is the roundtable response. So more or less, it's they don't want people to be griefing each other. The most griefingest thing that someone should be able to do to someone else is like running up and trying to mine or harvest the same thing that they're harvesting. And that's, maybe about as far as they want, or maybe if you can still put down dirt voxels to be able to try to encapsulate the person in dirt they can just quickly mine out of. Mm-hmm. So that's about the extent of it. Actual PvP and actual combat on your claim, they want that to be a completely opt-in thing, that you can have it that your claim will never be attacked, or you can have it that you can actually have combat and destruction and deformation on your claim. And when the battle's all done, or when you're tired of it, just press the reset button and it just pops back into place how it was.
It's going to be brutally amazing.
It's going to be so much fun.
That will be. I'm really looking forward to it.
This update to the roadmap's very interesting, just because of what it says is coming in the week of the 12th, which I assume is next week. Is that next Wednesday?
It is already. It's already the 12th of March.
We've got a friends list. We've got Twitch, Facebook, Twitter integration. We've got the fast travel stuff, the teleport to claim, teleport to hub, teleport to a friend.
That's
We've
great.
got the unified tools thing, which is that could be quite a big change to building and stuff. Permissions coming in, which we heard about already. So that's a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that's more than I was expecting. But then I guess it's on the roadmap, isn't it?
Caesar, you keep asking the same question over and over again. I have it. We're just we do a Q&A time at the end, so hang in there. We'll get to your question. Go ahead.
All right.
I want a horde of live lemmings.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, exactly. To attack the Omid statue and chew it apart.
PvP option?
Yeah. PvP
the friends features have been slowly getting implemented. Before you could do friends add and somebody's name, and you can add someone to your friends list or attempt to. They would get the request, but they couldn't do anything about it. As of this new update, you can actually accept those friends requests. So while you don't actually have a friends list, you can start sending friends requests to people and start populating it. So
I added everybody. I don't care. You can all.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. By the time they actually get the feature in, we'll already have our friends and just be able to roll with it and start using that feature. So that's lovely. All right, so
It'll be interesting to see how the friends list works with permissions. I'm kind of hoping there isn't just a big checkbox that says my friends can do anything to my claim, because I don't want Tobran messing with my claim.
No, I think you can assign specific people in specific groups, so you can have like these people can build, these people can only do prop placement, these people can only use the crafting tools, and these people can go screw.
Yeah, I think that's what Dave was saying on the live stream this week, was that it'll be specific to different pieces, basically, whatever you want. Also, an interesting point that he brought up was the idea of charging people to use your stuff. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, I saw that. I'm kind of mixed feelings about that, because I'm more of a utopian kind of guy. I'm like, yeah, everybody use my stuff, man. It's great. It's free. Just use it. And then I was like, why would somebody want to do that? But I guess if you took the time to stay up for 24 hours so you get a claim right next to the Nexus, because that's what you want people to use your stuff, that maybe you'd want to charge people. I don't know. What do you guys think?
So long as we can charge whatever we want instead of just being a very set thing. Like, instead of charging for currency, I would charge, like, okay, maybe one plain wood voxel every, whatever thing, or one burled wood voxel every crafting. So that way it's a very, very inexpensive crafting fee, but over the course of people using my equipment, I accumulate tons and tons of burled wood, which I could then use for whatever purpose, or sell it and use that money to keep my claim up, doing the maintenance stuff for it. Because the upkeep is going to be coming soon. I think it's definitely on the list for this month. I don't think it's coming next week. I think maybe the week after, but really it can't come any sooner, because touring an island right now takes 4.5 hours, and half of them are crap shacks. So it's really tragic. Actually,
these are
more
people,
than half.
Don't be so mean, because these people probably worked really hard on the crap shack.
No. Anything that someone actually put work in, I'll give respect. A crap shack, and this is actually more like 90% of them, they've gotten the claim, they flatten out an area, they put their tools down, that's it.
Yeah.
Or they've got the claim, they put their tools down. That isn't even a crap shack. That's just a dirt farm with equipment.
Yeah.
That's all that's on my claim right now.
Oh, you see? Oh, now you're embarrassing her.
No, you gotta do something about that.
I will.
Put some trees on it.
I have disapproving trees. Ha.
Oh yeah, there you go. You see, so that's nice. That's a feature.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose what I'd really like to see is tips on claims. I'd like, when you go onto a claim, or you're using something, maybe you could have a guest book crafted or something on the thing. But I'd like a system where you could be like, that's cool, have some stuff. And it might not make a huge amount of sense at the beginning, because we are just looking at things, but as we move down the line, as different systems get put into it, I think it'd be great to have a system where you could go to someone's claim, do the content, that they've made participate in the fight or whatever, do the story through the dungeon and stuff, and then for it to be kind of like, did you enjoy this? Like, so and so who made it has given a list of suggested
What's this Twitter
donation.
Facebook integration? Is that what you're talking about? Like maybe they can say I like this claim and tweet about it. I mean, how is this going to work?
I think it could very well be just what you suggested. To be honest, it could be an integrated thing, because there's integrated screenshots, isn't there? So maybe someone else knows more about.
Maybe it'll make integrated Vine videos from your build, like time-lapse build.
That'd be cool. I mean, it's a huge thing now, isn't it? Like people who make these kind of social games, they aren't blind to the powerful effect of social media. And just getting people overlapping, getting people who are friends of friends communicating is going to be beneficial to them. And it's a great sort of resource to tap, isn't it? I know, with my Twitter account, there's lots of people who are all into Landmark, and a lot of them are friends with each other, but there's still overlapping circles. And if they can kind of connect the dots with them and make the more social connections they can make, and the tighter they can make the web, it's going to be good for them, isn't it?
We're in a bit of a news update real quick. Thanks a lot for Daystars for posting this. Dave Georgeson says 2 minutes ago, we will be taking the servers down for a short... Hold on. I just scrolled up just as I was saying it. We'll be doing an outage later this afternoon. We hate doing a Friday update, but we want to solve the issues so that this weekend is fun for everyone, and that makes sense, right? Take it down, fix it now so that we can play. I don't mind. He wants to take it. I played 8 hours today. I think that's enough. But yeah, take it down for a little while, get it kind of working, and then we can move forward with having
What's
fun.
the ETA on the downtime?
It doesn't say.
Okay. Well, we'll see it when we see it.
I don't want him to tell us it's an hour and then it be 6 hours, because it's like yesterday. I felt so bad because we sat there from the morning time until in the middle of the night and it still wasn't up, and so I was just like, screw it.
Well, this is different. This isn't like taking out a section of wall and installing an industrial air conditioner. This is tightening up the screws and patching all the seals and everything on that air conditioner. It's just quick maintenance. It's not going to be nearly as intense, and it's probably not going to keep things tied up for 6 hours again or a day. And I've got to put a shout out, Omid or anybody at SOE in the audience here. Buy Steve Klug a beer, because he worked his ass off, and then he even came in early this morning before Dave got there and got back to work. He's some sort of machine that runs on like human food and potentially beer. So I'm gonna assume that from watching Futurama that robots run on alcohol. So please buy him a beer. Buy him a beer, folks.
Uni, say something in the chat. I didn't realize you weren't a mod. People are yelling at me because you're not a mod.
Okay, I'll try and type quietly because I have my mic close to my keyboard, so...
I'm not a mod either.
Okay. Huh?
Yeah, neither of us are mods.
There it is.
Okay.
I didn't make you guys mods either?
Nope.
I can't...
Oh yeah, we're on your channel, aren't we?
Yeah.
Oh no, I can't ban anyone.
Well, here's a weird thing. I can't make anybody mods anymore. Like, I can't show you my screen, but I open it up. It has unfollow, channel, message, purge. I can purge her. I can temporarily ban, 8-hour ban, 24-hour ban, or just permanently ban. That's all I've got. I don't have the little mod arrow thing.
Is this from the dashboard chat?
This is the main chat, not the dashboard chat.
It might be a dashboard feature now.
Let me go check the dashboard chat. Sorry, keep talking, everybody. I'll figure this out.
Yeah. Okay.
As if I'm not a mod, this is the worst thing.
I'll fix it. You guys will be mods. You can ban Omid all day long. I swear to God.
This is worse than when they say the servers will be down for an hour, but then they're down for longer.
So we've got...
Type again real quick for me, would you, Uni?
We've got the other things going on this week. The new roundtable discussion. It was cross-posted on EverQuest Next and Landmark about trees and tree progression. And I would say check out the EverQuest Next Landmark forum discussion on the subject. Voidlust has some really good ideas, though we discussed it in the post that those ideas really only work more for a solo harvesting system. And since the game is geared towards group harvesting, there'll need to be some modifications. A lot of people are really focused on Voidlust system, and it's a really neat system. It's basically you chop around the base of the tree, and then once it's done enough damage, you get a target, you hook it, and pull it down, and then once it's been pulled down, cut it into sections, and you get logs rather than, wood voxels that you end up making into pressboard or whatever. Because, logs make planks, not little chunks this big.
I like the idea of going around it. Definitely, that sounds cool. I think ultimately, it's very, very difficult to design a harvesting system that's still going to be fun in a year.
Mm-hmm.
When we've been doing it for a long, long time. So maybe engaging is a better angle to shoot for than straight fun.
I mean, another way that I would like to see it is when you get close, a window pops up and you actually have to drag the mouse across it to make the axe strokes.
Really? Oh. We're going into mini games now?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if there's actual ways where you can learn to do it better, or you get basically a visual indicator letting you know you're getting a lot more material.
This was our very first argument, Locke.
Was it?
Yeah.
We got about the sort of mini game.
Yeah, I said we should have mini game based crafting, and you were like, absolutely not. I remember that.
Was that like absolutely not? I don't think I was.
You were pretty mean, and you and Mr. Zaphos just attacked me like, no, we will not have mini games.
It was Zaphos that was like he was proper like vehemently against it, but I was kind of like, yeah, it's one of those things that it's like I just said, it's fun the first few times.
Yeah.
But when you've done it thousands of times, it becomes incredibly tedious, I think.
I'm with you, Locke. I agree.
Okay.
I feel like I'd rather be building or PvPing or doing whatever else, besides chopping down trees.
Well, here, maybe not for chopping down trees, but you talked about for crafting, and I think the way it would work really well for that is you do the mini game, and every time you craft the item after that, it'll come out with that result, unless you do the mini game again and try for a better result, because it's basically you're trying to improve your crafting technique on that item, and maybe after you've leveled up and your skills have improved, you can go back through and do leaps and bounds better quality with the same materials, maybe even less material, to make that item much more functional and much more marketable, or whatever the goal is with it.
I would like that, because then there's a sort of element of player skill involved as well, isn't there? If you made it something that just kept getting harder and harder and harder without there being a cap on it or a limit, it was just how good you were at doing the game. I think that could be quite an interesting thing, because then you've actually got player skill, and people who practice it and people who want to do it, are going to be at the tippy top. Perhaps I like that. I think that's a really cool idea. But yeah, as we were saying, like having to repeat the same sort of simple process over and over again without it becoming monotonous in a persistent game like this, I think is difficult, isn't it?
Absolutely. Especially if you have to do it over and over again.
Yeah.
So.
I really hope there are a lot of tree enemies and tree creatures and stuff, so a lot of the wood you're getting isn't just from trees, but from, animate creature trees that you actually have to defend yourself against.
Or chase down.
Yeah. The fastest trees you'll ever see.
Yeah. Well, things like that, and they mentioned as well, like, sort of hard to find trees and things, didn't they? So there will be more variety injected into it, which I think is good, because at the moment we've got walking up and just hitting the thing until it's not there anymore, which obviously isn't quite enough. And you do get that you get the sort of reward of getting the resources, but I think also because we're getting the plant resources from it as well, which is kind of weird, and there's not enough different types of wood for it to be special when you get one. It's like you're just kind of on the slog for the one thing. I think it gets tedious a lot quicker than it will eventually. But I think it's going to be a difficult thing, isn't it?
That's actually a neat idea. Sango just typed in the chat, tree ants. Now, what if you went up to wood and you're just hacking away at it, and then it loses its mind and starts attacking back?
Yeah,
that would make sense.
Make it more interesting.
Yeah, just randomly happens. It's just like normally you're chopping wood and it's okay, and then all of a sudden one out of those 10 trees you just chop down, turns around and kicks your ass.
Yeah.
Or digging underground, and you get to an ore vein, you're like, yay, dunk.
Yeah, it's a rock monster. Some kind of like.
Jump out.
Yeah. Oh, they'll definitely be. Well, I think for the tree that'd be great. I actually had a great little discussion with Dave Georgeson at E3 last year about like an advanced combat system for EverQuest Next Gen Landmark, and the pretty much we talked about the idea of fighting a tree and all the different challenges. Maybe fire might do a lot of damage, but it also is going to make it a burning tree. It might make it move faster, and of course, if it actually wraps you up with its branches, it's just going to burn you to death. So, that's not going to be very comfortable. So, other ways you could try to attack it, well, you try using lightning and see if you can split it. That would be one technique. Using ice, that might work. It might help knock the leaves off and take away its regeneration ability from photosynthesis. So, that might make it a little bit.
You could freeze the sap and hit it with a big hammer so it shatters.
Yeah, and that's another thing is like how you would actually fight it. Ranged weapons probably wouldn't work very well, like bows and guns and stuff, compared to getting close with some axes. But of course, when you're close with an axe, it's going to be hitting you with the tree branches and probably impaling you. So it's
got its roots underground as well that can come out. Out from
So the tree is an enemy. There's so many factors about actually fighting against it that can go into it, and I really hope we do see that level of versatility from the creatures and that level of different ways of how we can actually fight it. And maybe what I was describing with it is the idea that how you kill it determines the kind of resources you get from it. So if you kill it with fire, you're just going to get a bunch of ash. But if you kill it, with a bunch of axes, you're going to be getting as much of the sap and the lumber and stuff as possible from it. But you're going to have to bring like a small army because everyone's going to get their asses kicked.
And if you kill it with a cheese grater, you get sawdust.
We had some great suggestions come
I
by.
think it'd be incredible. We talk about this level of complexity in the game, but is it possible to design a game like that when when you're putting that much variety into one type of mob? How many different types of mob can you do that with?
I want to. Somebody said in the chat, this would be great. What if you have to go into the desert and you have to find this rare spice, and while you're in the desert looking for the spice, big sandworms come up and attack you.
I know where that was going. Dune reference. Yes.
I mean, think about all the cool things you could do.
More
with
of
that.
a Tremors man myself.
Oh, you're a Tremors man, which look a lot like it, but a little smaller than the Dune worms. All right. Okay. So now we're going to start giving away the Prime Grappler codes. So while we're doing that, Meika is here now. Thanks for making it, Meika. So Meika can handle the questions. Please, everybody, put your questions in brackets, question in bracket, and then we will get them in the chat and we'll start answering them. I'll still pipe in, but I'm going to be running the giveaway. For the giveaways, all you guys need to do, I will put a word in the chat like Dune, hashtag Dune, right? That's not the word yet, but I'll put that word in. You just type the word in, hashtag Dune, and then you will be able to be entered in to win Prime Grappler codes. Okay? So let's get this thing rolling. All right. We'll go ahead, guys. We're going to do Q&A time now, so you can start answering the questions. Yeah. Reese, you want to read them?
Yeah, sure. And then also at some point, if you want to do the ice raffle, I'm not joking. I do have 250,000 ice for whoever.
We can give the ice away at the end.
I'll be down for that. I haven't got any.
All right, where's the question start? Here we go.
Right. That one over here.
All right. Don't know who asked it. How do you think the interactive world will affect roleplay and help players explore their imagination? Yes.
Yes. Great answer. Yeah. Great answer.
Well, the interactive world will affect roleplay and help players explore their imagination. It's not a how-do. It's going to happen. It's awesome.
I suppose there's two kind of layers to it. Though. There's the emergent AI, which is going to exist within the world and just kind of do its thing and like go about, and there's going to be that layer. But then also in Landmark, the fact that we can create that AI as well and kind of enforce that sort of stuff on the world. And we're going to have these huge claims and people are going to build amazing towns and cities and all kinds of stuff and populate them with all different kinds of characters that then anyone can just go and inhabit. Like that's a role player's dream for coming from an MMO standpoint. You know, Landmark in particular is just where does it end, really? Like where it's to the limit of your imagination, which is the point of the game.
Yeah.
Well, how fun would it be too? Like you have your weekly gaming group, you know, like you usually get together and play D&D. Let's get together and role play in Landmark and travel around together. Oh, look, we found this crazy civilization. What's inside, you know? I think that sounds awesome.
I think
Incredible.
I might be the only
Think about,
person in my D&D group that can actually run Landmark on their machine, unfortunately.
Well, they can all role play
that's
behind you and you can drive around.
I mean, I'm hoping for people that, you know, the people that have been running D&D campaigns for years and years and years, you know, coming in and putting their ideas into the game for millions of people, you know, to experience and share whenever they want. To me, that's a phenomenal thing to be able to do.
Real quick, really interrupt real quick. You guys remember you have to be following to win these grappler codes, so hit the follow button, please. Go ahead. Continue.
Just hit the follow button.
Just hit it.
Hit the follow button.
Just click it. Just click it. Just click the follow button.
Somewhere over there. Just click it.
Somewhere. Just wherever it is. Just click it.
All right, next question.
Click it.
All right. Question for Domo.
Oh, boy.
Why didn't you just use attach claim to get the spot a few inches away?
It was early. I was tired.
It was early. You were tired.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Because hindsight is 2020.
It is.
That's why.
And I'm pretty blind before that, so.
Gotcha.
Click it now.
Okie dokie. Topographic. Have they announced when we get even more claim flags, and is 9 the maximum number we will ever be allowed as rumored? They have announced that once they're ready and they finish testing the feature and they're ready to give us some more space, they can just press a number somewhere, enter a number somewhere, and it changes it from 2 attachments to as many as they want. 9 doesn't have to be the maximum number. Chances are it'll be even more than that. I imagine, you know, there's going to be people who have 25 or more claims just in one mega claim that they've built up at some point at launch. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of maintenance to upkeep it, but they'll probably get plenty of donations. You know, I imagine, what's the name, Minecraft WB? They're probably going to have that sort of thing going on, and I'm sure they'll have no problem getting people coming there religiously every week, donating a portion of their gold to make sure the place stays open.
Well, like, they want us to have different claims as well, don't they? They don't want us to have just one big claim. They want us to be able to have separate claims on separate servers and separate islands, all, you know, pretty massive. So lots and lots.
Many lots.
Yeah.
Many lots.
One too many lots. That's from Terry Pratchett.
That's how you count to lots.
Okay, next question.
Now,
Real quick, before you read the next question.
All I can think about is Terry Pratchett.
Paradox Moose, you jerk. Paradox Moose. Paradox Moose, you won a Prime
Thanks for watching the show for months.
For months. He's always trolling me, the bastard. He just won a grappling code.
Yay, P-Docs.
Nice.
Yay, GZ.
All right, P-Docs.
Okay.
I love you.
Next question. This one's a quickie. VOD Commune, is there any heads up regarding server wipe? It will happen on or before the end of the month when they transition to closed beta. There will not be a wipe until then, most likely. Next question.
Sorry, I'm doing my setup for the thing. I missed
That's
the question.
all right.
Yeah.
Theron Goldenforge. Can somebody Photoshop Locksbeard onto Unicorn's face, as that would be the greatest avatar ever?
Can be
Darren, actually, there's a free program out there called GIMP. It's basically like Photoshop. It does all the features, or more or less the same kind of features. So I would recommend checking that out and getting your art skills up yourself, because I bet you've got the ability to do it.
I look forward to
Frankly,
seeing what epic facial hair you give me. I'm excited.
Frankly, if it hasn't already happened, then everyone in chat just disgusts me.
And they've already failed you, huh?
It's not giving. You're not giving back. That's it, isn't it? What's the next question?
It's from J Chase 029.
Chase.
What's everyone's running for PC specs to run the game?
I know. Oh! Do we get to find out who's got the beastier PC out of
We
Reese?
got the E-Peen.
Or is it Uni? Who knows?
Uni probably has the beastiest.
Mine's medium beastie. I don't know.
Yeah. Some of the features of mine are pretty beastly, like 32 gigs of dual channel CL8 RAM, 88824 timing. Pretty nice. Fast ass.
I'm pretty sure Doma can match that.
I have 32 gig of a CAS 5. I forget what it is, but it's 32 gig.
CL5, nice. Yeah. That's some damn fast
yes,
stuff.
It was very expensive. Hi, Felgon.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
Hey, Felgon.
Felgon in his house.
Well, okay, I guess I'll do my specs real quick. I have a 3770K running 4.4 gigahertz, liquid cooled with an H100 liquid cooler, R290 graphics cards, Windows 7 running on an SSD, or a 264 megabyte SSD. I have another 128 megabyte that's my gaming SSD, and then I've got 14 terabytes of storage for my videos.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That's it.
So I know Reese is running pretty similar, but you got the 780 Ti, haven't you?
I've got the i7 377K CPU. I don't have it overclocked at all. Running a Gigabyte GA Z77X UD3H motherboard. It's got the dual BIOS, which is nice. Like I said earlier, 8 gigs, 4 modules of Mushkin Redline CL8
Pentapod's here
8824.
too. I didn't even see you, Pentapod.
Some
I'm
good
sorry.
stuff.
Sorry, Reset, but she's like, why is nobody saying hi to me? Hi,
Hi,
Pentapod.
Hello.
We love you, Pentapod.
I might put a Pentapod on my claim at some point. GPU, it's EVA GeForce GTX 780 with ACX cooler. It's pretty beefy.
Jimmy Monica says they have an Atari ST512 overclocked to 300 gigahertz. It's more like 3 hertz.
Yeah, 3 hertz, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
For my SSD, it's a Corsair Neutron 256 gigabyte. I think it's the 2 or the 3 series. It's pretty damn fast. I've got a 2 gig just standard storage for videos and stuff and all of my Steam games, and a 650 Seasonic power supply, fully modular, makes it really nice to work with.
Oh, I forgot to drop the mic.
After your specs. Whoa.
Oh, yeah, what's up, dude? What's up?
R290.
In his house. Okay, guys.
Can you beat that?
We're going to, real quick before Uni goes, we're rolling for our next Prime Grappler, so it's hashtag GIMP. So hashtag GIMP. Put it in if you want to win. Go ahead.
Oh, is it my turn to brag about my computer?
Yeah, we're talking 18 stuff now. Go ahead.
Okay. I also have a 3770K. And for NVIDIA, I've got a 660 Ti.
Good.
8 gigs of RAM. I don't have an SSD yet. It's on my to-buy list. And, yeah. I mean, what else do y'all want to know? Oh, I have a unicorn headset, though. See?
Oh, that is
nice.
I do. Mine's nothing to write home about, really. I've got an i5 something K. It's overclocked to 4.4. I've got the GTX 670. I've got the Asus motherboard. I used to remember what the code was. I've had it for a while. Just the standard 8 gig RAM. Nothing fancy. 2 terabyte hard drive. I've got the solid state, which is nice.
Isn't it nice to boot with?
So yeah, I mean, I can run everything on Ultra. I'm looking for an upgrade, so for RAM, especially for doing videos and everything. So might have to have a word with you guys after about that. But yeah, it's it's not the most impressive, but like I said, it runs everything, and it runs Landmark no problem. So I guess how do you guys feel about what Landmark needs to run at the moment? Because it doesn't.
It seems pretty nice no matter what. I'm running it on a 520M on my laptop and it plays.
Yeah.
I mean, I figure any new mid-range 64-bit machine that was made in like the past 3 years probably would be able to run it. But it's definitely one of those things where the benchmark is really set high right now because they haven't optimized it. Same with PlanetSide 2. When they finally optimized PlanetSide 2, things that would get a stuttering frame rate would then actually be able to get a competitive frame rate and be able to up the settings a little bit. So they once they actually get the optimizations in, and there'll probably be some wave of optimizations before live launch. That'll be when we really start to see the significant improvements in hardware performance, as well as being able to see the bar for the minimum specs getting lowered a bit more, so we can see more players actually getting in.
I mean, it's like mine as well. Now these days you could probably I'm pretty sure you could get a better PC than mine is now for not much at all. Like if you knew where you were buying it from, you'd only be spending about 600 or 700 quid, and I run it 60 frames, 60 frames on max. So don't worry about it. I think as long as you bought your PC in the last couple of years.
Real quick, somebody was asking, what are we giving away? We're giving away Prime Grapplers, which are only good in alpha. Right now, that's the alpha giveaway. Omid said that when beta comes around, we're going to get better stuff. Probably like an XR mount that we're going to give away, which will probably we'll be giving that away, or an Omid bobbleheads. So we'll be giving that stuff away in beta. But right now, this is for alpha. It only works in alpha, which is going to be ending probably in a few weeks. So get these codes, use them while you can, because they're disappearing. But if you'd like one, just type in #Emily right now in honor of our friend Pentapod.
Right. After the statue is made, if no one makes bobbleheads of the statue, then I quit.
They have to.
I'm just putting it out there.
That's it.
It's the law.
Omid says different, not better. Well, an XR mount would be different. So, sorry about that.
Primal Grappler is good, though.
It is. Primal Grappler is a lot of fun.
Yeah, they're awesome. So, before the next question, I noticed somebody has made the transition from an ugly, horrible, unreadable green to a nice, readable red.
You need better TV. You need to get better Twitch.
No. Ibophobia. Thank you very much for
phobia for better Twitch.
Ibophobia is the person's name. That they finally changed it from an unreadable green to a nice readable red. Thank you.
Are you colorblind?
No. It's just
I have some friends that are actually, and they're
can't read it.
Default interface here. And it's they used to use one of those greens. It's hard to read.
Oh.
So, next question, Caesar Khan. Are the glowing plants added to crafting? I can't find them in the list. Which ones are the glowing plants? I'm not 100% sure.
The purple ones.
Purple ones, yeah. The one I don't know.
Bioluminescent, pretty.
Oh yeah. I'm sure they're somewhere. I haven't gone through the entire list yet, but maybe that'll be something I'll do.
Help out with that.
But yeah, just I guess craft them all and make a nice garden, take pictures of all of them, and index it for all of us, and let us know, and do a service for the community.
Yeah,
that would
get
be
on
totally
the wiki.
awesome. Caesar Khan, you got it. Do this thing.
I'm rolling now for the Prime Grappler. Here we go.
All right, and it's
Winter 3471. Winter 347.
We've got 35 minutes left, so I'm going to start to accelerate this.
Yes, let's accelerate.
Chase 029. When they release combat, it will have MMO elements where teams will have to kill larger mobs for materials, or will it be solo based mainly? Well, when they release combat, it's still going to be an alpha, so they've talked about it being very rudimentary combat. There might be some amount of group advantage. There might be some creatures that are tougher than a person with lower level equipment is going to be able to take out. But chances are, if you're using top-tier equipment, you'll probably just be able to solo everything for right now.
Although they're adding the group bonuses to harvesting, so there's no reason to assume that they won't do a similar thing for drops off mobs as well. So it might be beneficial to team up even if you can kill stuff by yourself. I assume eventually there will be quite a robust sort of group combat system within the game eventually, but to begin with, it'll be quite simple.
I love the idea of mobs dropping stuff, though. Like some big scary monster, you get like a hide you can hang on your wall. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
Well, that'll be another thing is skinning on harvesting tools to collect things from beasts and creatures will be lovely, and that'll probably be coming at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Diggs.
What's up, Diggs?
Is there an official forum name for Domo Town?
Domo Town? I didn't know there was a Domo Town.
Well, apparently there is, so you gotta pick a name at some point.
We'll call it Domo Town.
Domo Town.
Domo Town.
Take it down to
There
Domo
you
Town.
Yeah, but you have to say it like that.
Yeah, you do. And you have to have the disco beat in the background. Domo Town.
That's how I live my life every day.
That's how you
The
roll.
disco beat.
So next question. We didn't catch the name on this one. How soon will we see mobs in combat? Ask the dev team. We will see it before the end of the month. They've actually put the combat stats in. Right now it's basically health regeneration, mana regeneration, stamina regeneration, armor, combat damage, and combat critical. Those are pretty much the combat stats right now. Those are actually listed on the update notes.
I mean, is it in phase 2 of the roadmap? Risk and danger. Oh yeah, there it is. Basic combat is in phase 2. So yeah, next few weeks hopefully.
Yeah. Well, the first 3 phases I believe are alpha. So, that's all stuff they're trying to get in this month.
Really?
I believe so. I know at least the first 2 phases, if I'm not mistaken.
They were like a month each.
No, I don't believe so. I'm pretty sure, I think the first 2.5, maybe even the first 3 full phases are all going to be attempted in alpha, and then will be refined in beta and open beta later.
Phase 1 is what we're working to accomplish in the following 4 weeks or so.
Oh, okay then.
And then phase 2 scheduled to be done in the 4 weeks after phase 1 is complete.
Okay, so it actually has been written out in a little more detail.
It's not very long though, is it? I mean, if you think we're probably, we're in the second half of phase 1, aren't we? So
yeah. Okay. So next one from Topographic. When or will we eventually get a stealth mode where we can build incognito?
They've been talking about that for a while.
Yeah, they've talked about that for a while. I don't know if it's a tech limitation or if it's that they simply aren't sure if they want to have people, hide their work in that way.
I've seen a few people build big boxes, like an entirely big box on their claim, and they don't even build a door. They just cut a hole, walk out, and close it back up, and close it up for the night.
Yeah.
You know what? I'd rather see, personally, a big black box than nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, because if there's a big black box, there's mystery.
Yeah.
And maybe they could skin the box with loads of question marks.
Yeah, make it like an enigma.
Honestly,
or maybe, do a big advert on the side or something.
No. Think about it this way: if they aren't ready to show it off, why even have it draw in the world, other than something representing where that claim space is, so you can't actually, try to take it there, or maybe, if it isn't actually drawn and we don't actually have to see it, then it's not going to impact, lag and that sort of thing. So everyone having a giant box with a bunch of intricate detail that we don't actually see, but it's still going to try to process, that's a lot more impactful than something that it's, that there's a claim there, but you can't interact with it. And maybe it's showing the natural terrain there instead. So if you want to, dig in that area, you can, because the claim isn't actually represented at that moment.
I just think it'd be cool to have big, because then it'd be like, ooh, what's he doing?
Also, weren't you judgy earlier about people with ugly starter claims?
It would be you You wouldn't even
Ooh,
see
she
the
gotcha.
claim. That's the thing, is that I would
Yeah.
with the thing where you've got the claim placed but nothing on it, it still tries to process the area as if there was a claim there. There's just nothing for it to draw, so it just stutters for a moment, and then there's no worth to it. So it would be actually helping that alleviate that a little bit by making sure any claim that isn't actually ready to show, it just wouldn't have to draw. But a lot of the claims
come
really
release though, they're going to have to make it smooth as you're running through the world, aren't they? And I
Yeah,
just
well,
think, for me
before
personally,
combat.
I understand why. I understand why people would prefer if there just wasn't anything there at all, or people prefer their claims to be invisible. I just think if you have the cover over the top, it's almost like adding value to the world still. Whereas if you can't see it at all, if it's just not there, then I feel like you're losing something. Like other players are losing something from it not being there.
I mean, I'd
I think it'd be
suggested
cool
like
just
a
See
tarp
what I'm like.
tarp mode, where if you want it to kind of show what you're building but not really, you would select tarp mode, and it just this giant canvas tarp would be covering your entire claim to all
It's a good point, because
outsiders.
we've got the sort of translucent box already, haven't we? So
Yeah.
I mean, could they make that opaque? Would that?
Well, no,
Would
I
you
don't mean necessarily like that, but something that's just like one voxel out from where they've actually placed everything, that's just kind of
Yeah.
covered in canvas, so that way you can see kind of the outer edges of what's going on in the silhouette from a distance, but the fine detail is all covered up. So it's just, you come up, it's like, oh, that's going to be something awesome. I can't wait for the tarp to come off.
Yeah.
I kind of like being able to run around and see stuff in progress, though. Like my neighbor
Me
was
too.
building a pyramid out in the desert, so I'd much rather look at even the start of it than just like square box, you
Well,
know?
I think what it is people are afraid, like if they do an amazingly awesome temple, or let's just use a pyramid, they make an exact replica of the Great Pyramid of Giza or whatever, and they put it down, they got the Sphinx, they got everything there, it's all set up perfectly, and then somebody runs over the top of the hill and goes, I want to make that, and I'll put that up on I don't have a job, and I can sit here and create the pyramid before this guy can get it finished, put it up on the player studio before he does, I win. And so
That's a good point.
that's why some people want to kind of hide their claims, because they're worried that somebody's going to steal their idea.
But
Especially
that's for someone who actually wants stealth mode or whatever turned on. Like I'm perfectly happy building out in the open and have everyone seeing the raw product as I'm building it. In fact, a lot of people live stream, and that's the purpose, is to not hide, but to show what they're doing and really explain the process as they're going through it. So stealth mode as a feature is only for people that want stealth mode as a feature.
I think as well, like to a certain extent, I have to wonder what could they be doing that was so amazing that someone just wandering past could go and do exactly the same thing.
I've seen some stuff that I've been thought I'd like to steal that idea. Maybe not necessarily steal it, but I was like, that's a good idea. I think I'll do something like that too.
But that's the thing. If you can just make it, then what value does it have?
You remember that document from like a few months ago about that super secret project with the tower thing that you weren't supposed to leak about? And there still hasn't been any detail talked about it, but pretty much that's the sort of thing where somebody could make good use of it. The person's participating in that project, but you wouldn't actually be able to see what they're doing until their section is ready to show off, or maybe nobody gets to see it until it's actually put in the place where it would go.
Well, yeah, I mean, I totally understand people like wanting to do the sort of big reveal and go like ta-da, but really, my point is, like, if just anyone can make what you're doing, and they're willing to make what you're doing, then what value can it really have?
Well, also, I was thinking about playing Star Wars Galaxies back in the day. And like there were people who were weaponsmiths, or they would be crafters, and people would pay extra for stuff that they made just because they made it. It had their name on it. It was like a brand, basically.
Oh yeah.
So even if someone can rip off your idea, people might not want to buy it.
Right.
Like the Ulfbeard sword. Everybody started copying that. It was like the coach of its day.
Gotta have the real one.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we've gone a little bit off the question here, which was just asking,
It's like a three-word
will
question.
there eventually
Will
be
there
stealth
be?
mode? Yes, there will probably eventually be stealth mode.
Yep.
Sneaky Pete,
Hello.
what do you think about having an alternate mode of fast travel like zip lines instead of teleporters, so you can explore while you fast travel? Something where you're on a track going from point A to point B really fast,
Monorail.
especially where you'd be able to jump off midway or something. There'd be all sorts of ways to do that, and I think they'd be great.
Yep.
Well, we know there'll be mounts, so that's one thing. We know that there'll be. I don't think it's been like confirmed, but they've talked about gliders and things as well. There's going to be like other methods of traveling quickly.
Well, your
traveling quickly
boots that
around the
make you
world.
float and stuff, and the cape. You can use the cape like what was it, Super Mario World, where you're floating along, or if you want, you can do the ground slam. Yeah, that would be awesome.
That'd
I
be
would
cool.
be all over that. You'd just see me flying around everywhere. You're like,
Or maybe
man,
you
screw
make
this
some-
building stuff. I'm gonna go fly around.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope that happens.
Yeah, I'd love to see
especially when exploration becomes more important as well. Like, hopefully there'll be reasons to travel through the world, like beyond it, just being a laugh. There'll be things to find. We know about the altars already. When they introduce like more rare things within the world, there'll be reasons to move around. So there'll be reasons for them to implement ways for us to get around.
Yeah.
What is this Unilock that everyone keeps talking about?
Sento has been photoshopping me and Locke.
Oh,
Nice.
See? I knew they would because they're good people,
they are good people.
and they give back to us.
It looks great.
After months of us doing this.
Let's go ahead and replace
Sorry, Bob.
Ixar Bob with Unilock. Give me a second. Take a second.
All right. So while you're doing that, next question's a quickie. Envoy 70, will there be voice chat landmark? Yes, there will be voice chat. There will be full SOE mode integration. Play EverQuest 2 if you want to see how it works. Easy one. Next question. Minty64, is the clothes in the game going to be cosmetic only, or are we going to have gear with stats? There is going to be, I believe, a minimal tie between aesthetic and functionality, such as if you're wearing plate armor, you can use any fantasy or tech or whatever version of plate armor, but it'll represent that you're wearing plate armor, or maybe it won't. That's awesome. That I don't know what to do. When I first looked over, it's like, oh, God,
It just looks like me dressed as Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh dear.
Thank you, Sento. It's beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
It's glorious. It's glorious.
All right.
Cosmetic only. Well, it'll be like a costume thing. So in Landmark especially, you'll be able to look however you want to look, and have whatever stats you want, because that makes sense for the game. In EQN, it'll probably be a lot more itemized.
Yeah.
But there will be gear with stats in the game as well. It's just it might not be as visual as in other games. But you've got your pick to heft around, haven't you? And you've got your movement abilities and things to show off with. If you go speeding past with a super fast grappler, then people will know that you've worked for that grappler. If you've got the super amazing legendary neurotoxin pick of Destiny, then then people will know. People will know you put work into that. So there'll be ways to show off. There'll be titles and things. I think that's what it's about, really, isn't it?
I keep looking at that silly.
I know. I can't look at it anymore.
Everyone says you're one of us now.
Yay!
Yay.
Bud Commune, you already asked that question. There will be server wipes. Look it up.
Now listen, you don't get antagonistic with the peoples. He's like,
Everyone, stop watching.
Somehow their
Get the
question
hell outta
ended
here.
the second time, and it's the same answer. I don't know how it ended up in the second time, but oh well.
Because he's Vodka Moon, he's probably drinking vodka and staring at the moon, and he probably didn't notice that he asked it already.
He's probably
Sometimes
drinking soju and
sometimes we
staring at
misquote.
a street lamp. I don't know. Yeah. I don't have a good follow up for that one. You're right. Probably drinking vodka and staring at the moon. So, next question, Commerce87. How's it going? How often do you guys think the maintenance fees should charge us every day, week, month, year? Should we be able to pay up a year or more ahead of time? Uni, what are your thoughts on this one?
I did like the idea that you can pay in advance just because you might not be able to log in every week and you don't want to lose your claim. So, I don't know. I think weekly or bi-weekly or monthly seems reasonable, but not daily. I think that would be a little bit much. So,
I think a level system would work. The longer the claim's been there and been continually maintained, it gets to a point where you can extend, like, instead of a week in advance, you can do a month in advance, and then after it's been there for 6 months, maybe you can do a year in advance or something like that, or some way that you can keep advancing it over time. So if you're just putting it down and you're going to abandon the game, then it's going to go away pretty soon. But if you've been a part of the game for 2 years and you've got 5 years paid out plus faithful people that'll be coming back every day, topping it off, then it's always going to be there.
I understand that. I think it sounds good, but I think that I'd like to see it more as a kind of what do you call, like a direct debit system, where you don't have to actively do anything, but it just takes the upkeep. Like whatever your upkeep is, like it just takes that and it takes that and it takes that as long as you've got the money. So you don't have to actively. Although I suppose there's a benefit to SOE if you do have to actively like go into the game, like even if it's just to click on one thing, so they might not go for that. But I think having extensively extended periods of time where a claim can just be sitting there, I don't think is ideal, because people can quit at any time. People they've been playing the game for 2 years and then they go, oh, I'm done with this. Move on. I imagine a lot of people, once EverQuest Next comes out, a lot of people will be spending a lot less time in Landmark. So it swings and roundabouts, isn't it? I understand people wanting to pay for longer, but I also understand SOE wanting people to log in. And it's a difficult question, isn't it? It's one of those. We'll have a meeting about it. We'll have a meeting. Decide.
We'll talk about it later.
We'll come back next week, better prepared.
All right, Geekdom, anything on the subject?
No.
Okie dokie. Next question.
We're running out of time, so we got to get through these.
Yeah, gonna accelerate this even more now. Monster 35. Will there be elite mobs in Landmark requiring group combat? I believe the answer is yes.
I'll make them.
Yeah, if not,
personally.
we'll actually be able to, with the scripting tools and stuff,
Okay.
make those kind of encounters. So if nothing in the game is tough enough, we can make our own damn bosses, and it'll kick everyone's ass and be like, if you have to throw in 25 gold every time you die to get an extra life, it'll essentially be a quarter eater. Okay.
70-man raids.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
700 rather.
700-man raids.
You know how hard it was to
You
get
can
40
that
people
many on the
together?
server.
Yeah, well, rallying call.
Yeah.
I'll tank that.
All right. Planewalker, NCO. I think spellcasting should be in Landmark. Have you heard how it's going to be implemented? No idea.
No.
We just now have the most basic rudimentary of stats that are going to be in the game. We actually now know that there actually is going to be spell casting because there's mana and mana regeneration, which we didn't know before. So it's speculation at this point for us to say anything about it.
We know there's no class that can just cast spells, so it'll be an item based thing, won't it? You'll have to we know that the sort of combat's going to be based on the weapon that you have equipped. So if you equip items that have spell effects, then you'll be able to cast those spells. But I think that's about the extent of what we know at the moment. Unless anyone maybe wants to drop in chat and it'll go no further, then
All right. Next question, Crocus Maximus. So on my claim I picked this morning is a small sand area that looks like a pond, small lake with no water, has starfish and sand dollars. Is there going to be a lake when water is added? Are they getting ready, or is it just a dried up lake? You have just got a dried up lake there, Sir Crocus
Water
Max.
is coming.
Water will come at some point.
Dun, dun,
They'll have to
dun, dun,
refactor
dun, 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 dun.
the entire world. Like, they're not going to be putting water in the islands that currently exist. I'll have to make new islands for it. So don't expect your lake is going to
I think they're going to wipe everything and get rid of all the damn claims and then put the water in and then bring them back, because they're not going to make islands with just water, I think.
Speaking of wipe, Crocus Maximus, while you're waiting, you can make the 3 seashells on your claim.
Awesome. I love the 3 seashells.
Yeah, Omid apparently has it in his guest bathroom, but nobody apparently gets the reference.
Very good.
All right. I figured it was like a bidet and a blow dryer or something. But anyway, Ramaj, question. Are the devs getting a bonus for staying up half the night with the other Pat? I think they work on a salary. I don't know if
they do, but they all get XR mounts.
They all get XR mounts. That's true. But they don't all get these. Dave Georgian actually doesn't have a Nagy hat yet.
He has one, but he refuses to wear it in public. Unlike some people we know. That has been your shtick since you've been on this show, is wearing that hat.
I like
It's pretty majestic.
It is
you
majestic.
have to admit.
Well,
It
it's
looks like
because
it's eating his head.
It's because of the headphones. If I wasn't wearing the headphones, then I just let my hair poof out. But big, curly poofy hair doesn't look so good when half of it's all squished down.
Oh, it's fine.
So
Felgon got a Nagi hat today. See?
Nice.
Devs
Great.
get an extra banana. Probably.
Extra banana.
Mm-hmm. They just throw it into the cage and run in the other direction.
All right. So truck blood. Has there been any talk of what currency claim maintenance will be? SC, gold, resource, option between the 3? I don't think they've mentioned resource. I'm pretty sure it's station cash and gold right now are the 2 they're looking at. It'll be, optional between the 2. But, of course, that'll be when they actually have the station cash features. And I don't think they'll actually allow people to do maintenance with station cash until the game goes live.
Hold on a second, everybody. I'm going to post this in chat. Maybe somebody's already done it. Somebody just did it. Dave Georgeson 40 minutes ago while we were on this stream has posted a picture of himself in his Knifen hat.
Nice.
So there we go. You are vindicated.
That was his bonus.
That was his bonus for staying up.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
There we go. I got to retweet this.
Yeah, I know. I've seen somewhere they said it's going to be currency based.
Yeah.
So there you go. Whatever the currency turns out to be, we don't know if it's going to be gold. It'd actually make sense if it wasn't gold. If it was.
Well, they said you sell your resources to a vendor to get coin, whatever that ends up being, and then you pay with the coin. So that's what I thought I heard. Maybe I'm mistaken though.
Yeah. I don't know. I've seen currency. I just think it's one of those. It's one of those areas where if you make it gold coins, it's another thing that funnels very much into the sort of historical high fantasy kind of thing, whereas I know that they want it to be broader than that. So I'm wondering if it will be something a little more, a little more out there, just something more generic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Credits, whatever.
Credits. Yeah. So gold
burled wood, which if you guys notice, all of our interface tonight is made out of burled wood.
It is?
It is.
All right. So we're going to keep on rolling through these questions because we've got maybe 10 minutes or so left here before we got to wrap up. Not even that long. So, Daystars, they added beach textures to the new patch. Are you going to move your front to, or your claim rather, to waterfront property? Sure. They've got some lovely oceans and stuff that aren't in yet. So I'll be able to. It's funny. People want their water. They want it so bad. And we actually have liquid voxels with the water or the snow and ice. It's just not in a flowing state. So you can make waterfront property on your own. You just have to put snow and ice down and wait for it to thaw. That's how it is. Vod Commune, attention Geekdomo.
Uh-oh.
What guild are you in for EverQuest Next? This is Landmark. Next is like a year away.
Well, we've already started a guild. This was not my idea. They started the Domo Tribe Guild. And so if you go to www.geekdomo.com/forum, you can sign up to be on the Domo Tribe. It's totally informal. I don't know if we have anything. I'm not the guild leader. I'll be in the guild, but I want nothing to do with guild leadership or anything like that. I'll play.
Some sort of cult of personality
It
going
is.
on.
It's a cult
Very
of personality.
interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Topographic. How much RAM?
I'm gonna join the guild, become an officer, and kick you.
Hey, that's fine. Every day you're like, Pion,
so funny.
get me a banana.
Topographic asks, how much RAM do you need to make videos? People have been making videos since sometime in the late 1800s, is it? No, that's a dick answer. I think it's really an operation system sort of thing. If you're using Windows 7, for example, you're probably going to be able to get away with less RAM because you're going to need less to, or not Windows 7, Windows XP rather. It's going to be less impactful as an OS, so you probably need less RAM. But you're also going to be limited. You might not be able to do the higher resolution as much. Ultimately, what RAM really helps with, for me, when I'm doing video editing, is previews. I can preview the entire segment that I need to do, rather than when I've got smaller amounts of RAM, like 4 gigs or less, it'll only do bits and chunks at a time because it's doing this really raw, uncompressed playback. Even if it's a lower resolution version, it still beats the crap out of the RAM. So, more might be better than faster, but ultimately, you can do it with a small amount of RAM, and you can still make some cool videos.
Omid says that's a massive improvement.
I didn't hear a word you said. I'm watching the Omid Unilock discussion.
All right.
So Mead's fantasy finally coming true. He's obsessed with me. It's quite terrifying.
So
I fear for my safety at SOE Live.
Jiminy Monka wants to know what you're using for the raffle, Geekdomo.
I already he wrote to me and asked what it was.
Okay.
I filled him in.
Cool. Queg22. Hey, how's the stream going? Seems like everyone's having a good day. So what's the game you look forward to the most?
That's brilliant. I love that.
Final Fantasy 15.
The game that comes after EverQuest Next, that sci-fi one that Smed keeps teasing us about. Truth be told, that really is what I'm most looking forward to.
I'm just kidding. I don't even like Final Fantasy. Hate it.
I like the ones before, 10 and before, I think. But anyway, all right, we got a few more questions to go through in a few more minutes, so let's see if we can get through them. Theron Goldenforge, why is Omid so freaking adorable?
He could give you a long list of reasons.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's go to the next one. Live it up. 1216. When is Locke going to apply for our hardcore bleeding edge EQ1 guild so that we can reject his application? He doesn't need to apply. He's already pro MLG.
Number one, you wouldn't reject me, so don't pretend you would. Number two, I wouldn't apply, obviously, because you've seen who I play with. Yeah, seen who I play with. Number 1 and 2 worldwide EQ1. Party like it's 1999.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Caravan collections have been mentioned a few times. Do you think we might see something like EQ2 system, which is an extremely addictive mini game in its own right? I don't know the collection system.
Yeah,
they're little shiny things on the floor, basically, and you run around in different zones and pick them up. So it'll be like, flowers or all different kinds of stuff. And if you complete it,
there'll be an absolute ton of stuff like that. I'm sure.
So
Everything will be a collection. Every collection will be an achievement. Every achievement will go towards a meta achievement.
It's a completionist thing, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. They'll probably do something like that. Question: offline build mode. I've asked about those sorts of features in offline. Export your stuff and import it later. Voxel sculpting tools. I'd love to see that, but I don't know if they're ready for that sort of stuff yet.
I
That was
think
from. Go ahead.
I was going to say I understand why people want it, but because of the nature of the game, I don't think we'll get it for a long while.
Yeah. That was from DMan66613, by the way. Next question, Paradox Moose. What's the difference between EverQuest Next Landmark and EverQuest Next? Are they the same game? Didn't we talk about this at the beginning of the show?
Next question.
Okay. Can you all do a synchronized /onod? We can, but will we?
I'm not a performing monkey.
Jack Random. Will there be a claim? Oh, and Ramaj. Once we're actually broadcasting from in EverQuest Next Landmark with SOE, then we'll honor that request. But until then, we'll let latency make sure that it won't be synchronized and just let it be that.
It's gonna be so much fun for all of us to be on the camera without burying our faces, but just our avatars talking.
That would be cool.
It will be fun. It will be a lot of fun.
Voice modulators and stuff.
Yeah, voice modulators. I sound like a troll.
Jack Random. Will there be a claim resource vault that will be able to store massive amounts of resources that all the constructors registered to the claim will be able to use and donate to?
Good question.
I don't know if there's a yes or no on that. It's a great idea. I thought about that because the chests are very limited. You're just putting items and item stacks in there. I'd like to have something that's more like the other tab of the inventory, where I'm building a vault that I'm just putting stacks of 100,000 of raw material into, and build those the same way as I build the chests. Anybody else? All right, last one. Joshua Felton. What's your opinion on devs entering a championship / competition of their own game, because even though they made the game, they might not be good at it? That's maybe.
Just because the guy on the assembly line at Ford puts the car together doesn't mean he's a race car driver.
Yeah, it's not reasonable to expect that they'll be the best at the game. It's
except Dave Georgeson, apparently,
he's pretty damn good.
Mastermind.
Well, I mean, obviously, I'll be world rank number 1,
if not higher, probably higher than rank 1.
Rank 0.
After rank 0.
Yeah,
I'll be because I'll be in a league of my own, like that film with Mel Gibson and the women's baseball team.
Nice. Mel Gibson, she's good. Penapod says answer yes. All right, let's wrap up here real quick. Let's go around the room. First, where can people follow you at, Uni?
I am here on Twitch at SuperFancyUnicorn, and also on Twitter at SuperFancyUni.
Okay, so could you please put those in the chat for us?
Absolutely. And I'll tell you, I'll actually be on hiatus for about a month because I'm going on vacation, but I will be back
lose her next week
with a vengeance after that. So
nice. It sounds like a fun vacation.
I'm going to China, actually.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
So
don't let them force off that honkified dim sum. Have them give you the real dim sum. Like, you might even have to get a dim sum app.
They don't make real
phone.
dim sum in China. It only comes from San Francisco, I think. All right, go ahead, Mr. Locke. Tell us all about your stuff.
Sorry, someone in chat's distracted me by trying to say it was Tom Hanks in A League of Their Own. I think you'll find it was Mel Gibson, actually.
Mel Gibson's pretty much every male role for any movie.
On IMDb. And Madonna's in it.
Yeah.
And what's
Rosie
her name?
O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell's in it, and Mel Gibson teaches them to play baseball. So that's where you can find me.
All right, on the internet. Is that it?
Lock6Time on YouTube and Twitter. Follow me on Twitter, and I'll post some things, and we can share beard maintenance tips.
Oh, very good. I got to trim mine again. All right, go ahead, Mr. Reese.
All right, you can find me here on twitch.tv/legendary neurotoxin. You can also find me on my blog at legendaryneurotoxin.blogspot.com. Both of them have been filled out with all sorts of content. You can also find me on my various different shows. I do the EverQuest Next Landmark live feature rant every 5 p.m. Pacific time after the Landmark live show on Wednesdays. Or, you know, when it wraps up, I get started because sometimes it runs over a little bit. Every Friday, of course, I'm here on Into the Portal. Every Saturday, I have a show from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Pacific time called Procedural Powerhouses, where I feature games that use procedural generation as a major part of the gameplay. And the final show that I do every week is Castles and Crap Shacks. Starts at 2 p.m. Pacific time every Sunday. It's because it takes at least 4 hours to go through an entire tour of an island. I give myself plenty of time because there's another show afterward, the Evercast show, that I love to tune into. So I don't want to miss that. So
awesome.
That's it.
So there's so many people.
They're losing their mind. They
Tom
just
Hanks being in a league of their own.
I guess you guys don't get Locke's sense of humor.
It makes me laugh so much.
And then last week,
they can be so wrong and think that it was Tom Hanks in a league of
completely
their
wrong.
own. And clearly, it was Mel Gibson.
No, see, Envoy got it. It was Tom Gibson. See?
Nice. Oh, ice giveaway.
Oh, ice giveaway.
Here.
All right. The word is going to be. Hold on a second. I got to.
Vanilla. Do vanilla.
No. So you can't tell them before they do it because then I haven't typed it in yet and it's going to crash it. But give me a second.
All right.
It'll be ice. Hashtag ice. Okay, type in hashtag ice. We're going to do it really quick. Okay, everybody, I'm Geekdomo everywhere. I do my daily streams. We're going to do... We played EverQuest all week this week, just EverQuest 1. It's kind of a flashback to the old stuff. Yeah, hashtag ice if you'd like that. Uh-oh, hang on. Hang on, Ishbin Yogi just subscribed, and how come I didn't hear the ding?
Yay!
It didn't ding.
By the way, everyone,
ding.
if you know what you're hashtagging for, it's 250,000 ice voxels.
It's 250,000 ice voxels. There you go. How come it didn't ding? It was supposed to ding. Oh, I have it turned off. No. No, I have it turned off. Oh my god. Why is it turned off? Terrible. I apologize.
Zube, yes, he will.
I am going to be at SOE Live.
I will not be at SOE Live, but I'm going to be at PAX East. So I'm going to be streaming that from the floor. Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rolling for the millions of ice, pounds of ice. Here we go. Rolling now. Diggs, DYGZ, Diggs, you won the ice.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Diggs is a long-time watcher. Okay, before we go, everybody, we're going to raid somebody. Oh, there we go. Now we got the follower notification. I'm sorry, I had it off the whole night. So thank you so much for subscribing. I feel bad. All right, everybody, we are going to raid somebody right now. This person has been on my stream plenty of times. I've seen him on other people's streams while we're doing EverQuest Next Landmark. So he is now streaming EverQuest Landmark. His name is Twitch TV Chris.
So many Z's.
Yep, there's a lot of... So everybody, we're heading over there, and we're going to say Domo Raid, and then we're going to type our little Domo things in there. Oh my god, see now everyone's popping up with the follows.
And so, we're gonna say Mel Gibson starring in A League of Their Own.
When we go over to that channel? Oh my god, it's like popping up nonstop now. Sorry about that, I had it off the whole show. Oh my god, oh well, sorry. Here we go. So we're heading over there right now. We're going to check out Mr. Chris's, and we'll see you over there. So everybody, thanks a lot for watching. This will be up by tomorrow, and make sure you at least argue with one point that Locke made tonight. It's a lot of fun to read the comments on the video and see all the things.
That was not my fault.
It wasn't your fault, but it was pretty heated you guys got over there.
Oh no, Chris just went offline.
Oh no, he did? Are you kidding me?
It just went offline for me.
No! Damn it!
Maybe mine is broken. I'm gonna refresh because Twitch has been twitchy recently. Oh.
Alright, we gotta find somebody else to raid now.
Yeah.
Is anyone playing Landmark?
No, that's the only person playing Landmark right now. So that's why I was too.
Sad times.
Oh, he's coming back live again.
Wait a minute.
He's coming back.
All right.
Is he coming back on? Okay. All right, everybody, we'll go over there and raid. All right, thanks a lot. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And thanks, Uni. Great job. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Amazing Saving Private Ryan.